Hello YouTubes, a slightly different video today. Nothing to do with motorcycles, although I'm doing this video because a lot of us have workshops. That's my workshop, and we like a bit of heat, and this is a diesel heater fitting sort of video to my wife's office, which is out in the garden. Now I bought I think it's called maXpeedingrods, something like that, heater off of Amazon. It is a generic Chinese heater, but these ones are CE approved. They're a little bit more money, but the company that do them have spent a bit more time and development, things like quiet fuel pumps and stuff like that. So this is the diesel heater. That's a little 300 watt 240 to 12 volt transformer, which is obviously fused. The inlet is there. This is the box I've made. I'm not a carpenter. It does have a lid which I will bolt on. I'm not a carpenter. It needs staining and some sort of weatherproofing, but basically it's attached to the side of the office, shed, whatever you want to call it. There's the inlet for the filter, there's a fuel filter, and the exhaust pipe with the silencer. And it's just on brackets. It doesn't weigh a lot, and obviously the fuel filter is directional, and there's a diesel tank which I modified. You can the kit comes with a load of stuff, and one of them is to bolt into a standard fuel tank, but the cap has a small hole in, obviously to let air in as the diesel runs out, but mounting it there, it's going to get water in. So I modified the cap. I drilled it, fitted the takeoff for a tank, and then just bent the end over with a bit of tube just to keep the water out of the fuel. And obviously the outlet is right at the bottom. It does go through a filter, which has obviously got a water drain, but I don't want to be faffing around with that shite. So that's the outside fitment. I will tidy the wiring up. Where are we? There we go. That is for the controller, which is inside, and the 240 volts just goes to this outside socket that I've had on the side for years, and it's just I'll sort that out later, just a standard extension cable that I cut off, which fits into the bottom there. So inside we've got the air outlet. You won't be able to see in there, but that goes through the wall. There is insulation in this. It is like rock wool inside it, so it does, or it should stay fairly warm. And then the controller is on the wall there. I've got no power to it yet. I've not switched anything on. I've just been to Tesco's to grab a can of fuel, so I'm going to fill that up. There is a priming process which I need to do, so we'll follow the instructions. That's the one it is, and it does come with a little nav remote control, which if you do hit the buttons does have power to it. Apparently you can Bluetooth to it as well. So I'm going to stick some diesel in, prime it, and see if it fires up. The temperature in here currently is what's that, 10.9, and it's 3:30. So let's just see how quick that sorts itself out, and we'll take it from there. All right, cheers, speak soon. A top tip for you, if you've got one of the larger filters, it says manually pump or manually prime it, but I would probably take that filter off and fill it full of diesel, because this is taking a long time. I guess that pumps, I don't know, not a lot on each stroke, and it's taking ages. I've been through a couple of cycles already, and it's still got a way to go before it starts coming up through the pipeline to feed the heater. So yeah, that's a top tip to start with. Fill that up, save you a long wait. Right, back in a bit. If you can see that, it is, what is it, 15:52, 11 degrees out here. So that's blowing cold air because I have just started it. Oh, that says it's 12 degrees. Okay, that's the thermostat. It says the fan's going. This should mean that the glow plug has started to operate. It has all bled through, and the pump did get a bit quieter. You can see the reservoir is now full up. So you've got the exhaust pipe there. That's cold at the moment, but it does smell a bit oily. Then the pump hasn't started. Apparently it runs for a little while for the glow plug to warm up, then the pump starts and it should ignite with a little roar from memory, because my dad did have one of these on his boat, so I have pulled these apart before, but his was a nightmare because his fuel tanks had diesel bug, if you know what that is, and it gummed them up and we didn't realise, so I was forever pulling it apart. Now there we go, there's the pump. I can hear noise. That's warm. And dieseling. That sounds like we got combustion. You can hear that. That's definitely getting warm. That's still cold at the moment, but I don't expect it to be warm because it's got to heat the big cast casing up first. So let's give that a couple of minutes and we'll come back to it. I might have a bit of a tidy up. And now it's going. I was going to say I'll pop the lid on, but I'll leave it off because I just want to check for fuel leaks, and I might tidy the wiring up a little bit. I don't know what you think about having the transformer in there. It will be sealed, the lid, and it will be screwed down and weatherproofed, and it has got a slope on it, so I'm hoping that will stay dry. Oh, fan speed's increasing, pump's increasing. Yep, that's definitely hot now. That's getting warm as well. And we got warm air coming out of there. Well, that was a genuine first startup. What do I need to press on here? Okay, what do I got? Oh Christ, I don't know what that means. 2744? No idea what that means. There's the thermostat. I'll read the instructions. Look at that, I'll do it properly. I'll read the instructions and see what it says. What does that do? No, I will read the instructions. Right, let's leave that running for a while. Sorry about the shadows, it is obviously getting dark. That's nice warm air. Hey, happy days. There's no smoke coming from that. Pump's running away nicely. That's quieting down quite a bit now. These kits, they fit a quieter pump to them. They swap out a few bits. For example, the fuel hose is this solid plastic hose. The stuff that comes in some of the cheap Chinese kits is a flexible rubber, and apparently that causes no end of issues. So they do swap a few bits out. I know you pay a little bit extra, but I'd rather have one that is from a proper supplier and it's CE approved. So at least they've made some sort of effort. Right, let's have a bit of a tidy up while the pump's playing and it's warming up. And oh, that's ramping up now. That's blasting away. That is proper warm air. Right, speak soon. Cheers, gents and ladies. Not that there's any ladies watching this because you're all old men, but speak soon. Right, very quick sit rep. How does that press? Oh, I don't know what that means. I still haven't read the instructions. But anyway, office, 15.5 degrees. It's been running for about half an hour. But after about 5 minutes, I turn it down to low. And that is blasting very hot air to the point where you could probably hold your hand in front of it for a few minutes. So, all in all, a very good success, apart from the carpet. Yeah, I might have to do something about that. Sorry, wife. But yeah, let's see how much diesel it uses. But so far, so good. This place is toasty, so a good result. Any questions, give me a shout. But obviously, first time fit, so yeah, working well. Catch you later, cheers. Alright then, YouTube's heater update. Okay, it's been running for, well, it's been in for a week now. Today's Saturday, it was last Saturday I fitted it. I put a gallon of fuel in there and obviously put a little mark on. Now the wife has been in the office for 5 days. She's been in the office every day this week. So that's how much it has used. Obviously you've got the 2 indents there for the fittings, so that probably takes a couple of 100 cc's out. Now it's difficult to gauge how much that is, so I have a can of fuel. So I know how much is in that can. There's 5 litres in there. I'm going to top that up and see what it's used over the week. Now it's not been too cold this week. There was a day when it was down to about 5 degrees, but it's been running most of the time each day. And there have been times when it's got up to 24 degrees in there, properly toasty, never below 20, and that's with switching it on and off during the day. So I'm going to pop the lid off. I've given it a bit of a coat of stain. It's what I used on my gates, whatever it is, Ronseal, oh, I don't know what it is. But I'm going to pop the lid off just to check everything is as it should be, and top that up, and we'll see how much it's used. So catch up in a second. Right, I'm back. That's back up to the corner of that mark where it was. And instead of guessing, or roughly guessing, I bought a measuring jug out from the workshop so I could actually measure it fairly accurately. And I put a litre in that at a time so it didn't go everywhere. And I've just refilled that with 2.6 litres of diesel. So that is running for 5 days for probably 5-6 hours a day on low heat, and that warms the wife's office, which is sort of fairly decent size, to, well, depending on when she switches it on and off, between 20 and 25 degrees. And considering it's December in the UK and we've had temperatures from our local Robin, who wanders down and has a bite to eat every now and then. Yeah, anyway, get back to the story. Yeah, depending on how often she has it on for, sort of 5-6 hours a day, it's been absolutely toasty in there. Now, she used to use an electric heater on the oil-filled electric radiators, and it cost an absolute bloody fortune to run. And she didn't like switching it on because she knew how much it cost, and I sort of, you know, don't worry, keep it on. But yeah, this is definitely cost saving. Now it won't be long before this has paid for itself quite happily, and not only that, but the heater never got the office to a decent temperature. You know, she was always sat there with a blanket over her legs, and now she's actually taking layers off because it's absolutely toasty in there. I did pop the lid off just to see what everything was doing and make sure that the rubber that I used for a bit of sound deadening was all in place. As you can see, there's a transformer, 300 watt transformer, so that's 240 volts down to 12 volts, 300 watts, which is plenty to run this. There's the heater. It is bolted. I can put the phone in there. It is bolted to a little stand that came off of eBay. There's a bit more sound deadening in the box, And I did move the heater. The heater is now mounted on cable ties, wrapped in a bit of rubber. And if you can see that, because the box is solid mounted to the wall of the workshop, or sorry, the office, the pumps they're a metallic pump, and they do click. Now, even though this is a better kit with a better pump, you could still just about hear it in the office. However, mounting it on a bit of foam and cable ties, it is solid, it's not going anywhere. It is absolutely silent. You can basically just hear a little bit of, well, just air moving around. So if anyone is thinking of fitting one of these, I can highly recommend it. If you've got a garage or workshop at home, they are very, very easy to fit, as long as you've got a decent sort of basic ability, I suppose. And they will keep it very toasty. I'm not going to fit one to my workshop because it's probably 4 or 5 times the size, probably a bit bigger than that, and it's open because I like to keep air through there so the bikes and stuff don't get damp. So it's pretty pointless. But yeah, if you've got a garage, well worth it. So I hope people have found that useful. Any questions, then obviously put them below. Cheers, catch you soon. Hopefully back on the old CB250 RS for some RSing about. See you later. Quick addition, obviously that's all topped up now, ready to go. That works out, so 2.6 litres over 5 days is obviously about 500 mil a day, which is half a litre. Diesel's currently about £1.50 a litre, something like that. But either way, you can work that out if it's half a litre a day for 6 hours to keep the office toasty. Internally, it's probably half the size of a garage, a normal garage, maybe a bit bigger than half the size. So if you've got a garage at home you want to heat, that's going to give you an idea of what it is. So that's, yeah, what, 75p a day, which is a lot less than electric for a far more efficient heater. And just as a quick addition, a lot of these Chinese heaters come with a remote control, and that does mean that the wife can click it on from the kitchen in the morning, half hour before she comes out, and when she walks in it's toasty. So yeah, again, if you do need to heat your garage, if you do a bit of home mechanics, you've got your bikes in there or whatever, it's a cheap way of warming stuff up and keeping it nice and toasty. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. See you all soon.